Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gyantimidandasya Gyananjanachalakaya Chakshurun militam jena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juthapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanshat Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patithanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna. It's my great honor to be with all of you this evening. My exalted God brothers and God sisters. And to all of you. It was approximately 5,000 years ago that Sri Radha Shamsundar descended into this world. There are 4 Yuga avatars. in each of the yuga cycles or kalpas. But only once in a day of Brahma does Lord Sri Krishna appear in his most complete, loving form and pastimes of Vrindavan. When Krishna appears, he brings his eternal counterpart, his Hladini Shakti, Sri Radha, their most intimate, loving associates, Nitya Siddhas, the river Yamuna, the Govardhan Hill, and the forests of Vrindavan. They all descend from the spiritual world so that Krishna could perform his beautiful pastimes of love, and in doing so, attract our hearts. It is truly a rare benediction. And considering every 8,600,000,000 years Krishna and Vrindavan descend, Srila Prabhupada explained 5,000 years ago is so recent. On Kartik Purnima of this month, 500 years ago, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Vrindavan. In his 48 years of performing pastimes in this world, only 2 months he lived directly in Vrindavan, wandering through the 12 forests. And 50 years ago, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada departed from Vrindavan. "50 years ago, carrying Vrindavan within his heart, he traveled the world to give what Lord Chaitanya tasted 500 years ago from what Krishna manifested 5,000 years ago. This is the pastimes of the Pancha Tattva. It is described that the Pancha Tattva, they descended from the spiritual world to plunder the storehouse of love of God, to taste the contents and to distribute it freely, everywhere, not considering who is fit or unfit. Although the Panchatattva was mainly in Navadvip and later in Jagannath Puri, they were always absorbed in the pastimes and in the loving relationships of Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada explains that Swarup Damodar Goswami, who is Lalita Saki in Sri Radha Gopinath's Leela, Ramananda Rai, who is Vishaka Saki, Gadadhar Pandit, who is Srimati Radharani, Rishabhanu Maharaj, the father of Sri Radha, incarnated as Madhava Mishra. Kirtida Devi, Sri Radha's mother, incarnated as Ratnavati Devi to give birth to Sri Radharani in the form of Gadadhar Pandit. And Srila Prabhupada explains that according to the records, none of them ever directly came to Vrindavan. Although they were manifesting Vrindavan to everyone they came in contact with. They were most intimate, transcendental personalities of Vrindavan. So being in Vrindavan is not only a physical experience. It is a state of consciousness. When Srimati Radharani met Krishna in Kurukshetra, she expressed that Vrindavan is my heart. And I want you to come back. You've been away for so long. Krishna never takes a step out of Vrindavan. And that means that Krishna also never he never leaves the heart of his loving devotee, where he manifests himself as Shamsundar. Parimanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. When our eyes are decorated with the ornament of love, then we can see Krishna. Srila Prabhupada taught us this principle. He worked very hard, and his loving associates, many came here to work so hard for him, to create the Krishna Balaram temple. In those days, the guest house at Krishna Balaram temple was the most comfortable guest house in all of Braj Bhumi, so that people from any part of the world could come and live simply but comfortably. Things have changed a lot on a physical level since those days. But Srila Prabhupada wanted some devotees to stay here. And in one lecture, he explained who he wanted to stay here. Those who were truly following in the footsteps of the 6 Goswamis. He said, if a group of my disciples are really honestly and sincerely following in the footsteps of the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavan, that will be my glory. He also wanted people from all over India to have the opportunity to come to Krishna Balaram temple and receive the association of devotees who were living and teaching the true message of Lord Chaitanya. And he also explained how many foreigners come to Vrindavan, and they should have a place where they could really come in connection with pure devotional service, as our acharyas have taught. And it was especially Srila Prabhupada's wish that his devotees from all over the world would have a personal home here in Vrindavan. In 1971, when Srila Prabhupada came back with just about 40 devotees, it was just around that time that the land of where Krishna Balaram temple was given to him. And actually, I remember those days. Raman Reti was like a distant land from the town of Vrindavan. And almost everyone was coming to Banki Bihari temple, Radha Raman temple, Radha Ballabha temple, and of course the 6 Goswami temples were all there, where Gaudiya Vaishnavas were coming. And Raman Reti, it was forests and pastures filled with thousands of cows and peacocks and parrots, and a place where monkeys were actually really happy because they had so many trees and fruits. And devotees were thinking, who is ever going to come to Raman Reti? It's so far. But Srila Prabhupada had such a vision. From those little tiny rooms at Radha Damodar temple, where for many years he slept on a little bed made out of rope. Rarely electricity or running water or anything. And he prepared himself to bring the world to Vrindavan and to bring Vrindavan to the world. We are very grateful. The greatest love we can share with each other is to inspire that gratitude in each other's hearts. Because if we're actually grateful, then we will recognize and understand the value of what Srila Prabhupada sacrificed so much to give us. We will never ever minimize it. We will never ever think that something else is superior. Srila Prabhupada gave Krishna consciousness in such a deep and honest way. And he explained to us that he put his devotional ecstasies into the purports of his books. So if we can inspire each other with that gratitude toward Srila Prabhupada and what he has given us on behalf of the Gaudiya Parampara, then we will make gratitude is not just a emotional feeling. It is an emotional feeling that is dynamic, that activates determination and sacrifice. Otherwise, it's something very hollow. If we're grateful, we will reciprocate. Just to say thank you is a very easy thing. But unfortunately, even that is so difficult for most people. But to actually be thankful means a willing to reciprocate. Srila Prabhupada made things really simple. He took the most profound concepts and made them so accessible. When somebody asks Srila Prabhupada, how can we show our gratitude to you? Srila Prabhupada said, wholeheartedly accept what I've given you. That means read my books carefully. Follow these 4 regulative principles. Chant at least 16 rounds every day. Live in the spirit of the servant of the servant of the servant. Accept what I've given you and share it with others. Srila Prabhupada wanted us to share this philosophy and lifestyle of bhakti with the whole world. Because he felt such compassion. Srila Prabhupada was living in New York City 50 years ago. At this time, he had so little materially. He was appealing to his well-wishers and spiritual family in India to help. And actually, some didn't have means, and others did have means, but they just thought it was impossible. Why should we give something to something that is never going to be successful? If you go to New York City and you see the big buildings there and all the traffic and everything else, and you think of a 70-year-old Swamiji with little white plastic shoes walking down the street, and he was seeing big, beautiful American cars and incredibly luxurious parks and buildings and homes. New York at the time was the wealthiest city in the world. But he did not want to take anything. He wanted to give. Because the fleeting pleasures of material enjoyment, proprietorship, if we're completely captured by this illusion, we really feel it's valuable. We really feel it's something to dedicate our lives to make progress with. But the self-realized souls, they understand the nature of the eternal soul. They understand Krishna. Srila Prabhupada quotes Srila Rupa Goswami that if you are attached to your family and friendship and love and all your wealth of this world, then I warn you, do not go to the bank of the Yamuna, because there Govinda is standing in his threefold bending form. And when you see the beauty of Govinda, when you experience the love of Govinda Dev, then nothing of this world can have any attraction or appeal in comparison. When that love for Krishna awakens in our heart, then we see something really attractive within this world. We see limitless opportunities to serve Krishna. With the wealth of the world, Hare Krishna Maharaj, with the resources of every variety of in this world, the joy of the soul is not to possess them. The joy of the soul is not to enjoy them. The real happiness of the soul is whatever we have or don't have, we please Krishna through our service. So simple. And love of God means unmotivated, interrupting, loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is the essence of every great religion. To blissfully sacrifice our body, mind, words, and life to this higher principle of seva, of pleasing Krishna. And Krishna comes to Vrindavan to teach and to reveal the most intimate abode of love. Where Krishna reveals himself to a devotee as their child, as their friend, as their lover. That is Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, even in New York City. And he wanted to share this wealth. And today, in the morning, we had a very holy ceremony, samadhi ceremony for His Grace Brahmananda Prabhu, who in a few months from now, it will be 50 years from when he met Srila Prabhupada, along with his brother, His Grace Gargamuni Prabhu. And he was a teacher. He was doing social services. He was an activist. He really wanted to help and make a difference in the world. And when he came in contact with Srila Prabhupada, extremely intelligent, extremely powerful in every way, he recognized Srila Prabhupada's compassion, his wisdom. There was only a few people who were around Srila Prabhupada at that time. He was one of the originals. And he gave his life to help. outside of Vrindavan and a few other places in India, nobody even knew what a Hare Krishna was. But he dedicated his life to spread the Hare Krishna movement. Srila Prabhupada would love to say that in Tompkins Square Park in 1966, when Srila Prabhupada, he didn't even have a mridanga. He just had a little bongo drum. Do you know what a bongo drum is? It's just a one-headed small drum that you play like this. Someone gave it to him. And Prabhupada would chant Hare Krishna. And he said Brahmananda was the first to get up with his arms raised and dance. He loved Srila Prabhupada. And in his love, he wholeheartedly accepted everything that Srila Prabhupada was teaching. And Prabhupada loved him and trusted him. It was very meaningful to Srila Prabhupada. He wanted to fan that little spark of bhakti that was inherent in everyone's heart and make it blaze into prema, ecstatic love for Krishna. And to have someone you can truly trust, that will give their life for the higher mission. Srila Prabhupada never considered it his mission. He always said, the mission of my Guru Maharaj. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada would say to all of us that you are all the representatives of my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj has sent so many nice boys and girls to help. So people like Brahmananda Prabhupada completely trusted, because even though he may make mistakes and all of that, he gave his heart and his life. He became the first president. He was the president of 26 Second Avenue. He arranged for Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita to be published by one of the leading publishing houses in the world. He was one of the first devotees to help Prabhupada financially. And he was at Srila Prabhupada's side most of the time. Throughout Prabhupada's manifested pastimes. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of photographs of Brahmananda Prabhu at the side of Srila Prabhupada in different places and different instances. This is something we should meditate upon. Because acharyas teach by their example. We have been discussing gratitude. how essential it is to have a grateful heart. Grateful to our Guru, grateful to Krishna, grateful to the Vaishnavas. Otherwise, true bhakti cannot grow. Srila Prabhupada was so grateful. He was giving us everything. Yet he was far more grateful for us to accept it, and especially to help the mission of his Guru Maharaj. Any little thing a devotee did to help fulfill the order that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave him, he was so grateful. And he expressed it. And he didn't just express it directly verbally, but he expressed it through his heart. And even devotees who never spoke a single word to Srila Prabhupada, who may have never even directly personally seen him, or who may have seen him from a distance giving a class. Even such devotees were giving their hearts and their lives as much as Prabhupada's personal associates because they could feel his gratitude. Every seva I do for the deities, every book I distribute, every round I chant sincerely, every time I read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, whatever service we're rendering, we could feel Prabhupada's gratitude. We knew Srila Prabhupada was grateful. And that's what empowered devotee and empowers devotees to carry on. And that is why it is so important for all of us to live with gratitude and inspire one another in that gratitude. Malati Devi is here, and Lakshmi Moni Devi, Batu Gopal Prabhu, Chandramali Maharaj, Mandakini Devi Mataji. These early devotees they can explain far better than me what the Krishna consciousness movement was that created this Hare Krishna explosion from nothing. A devotee who just joined a few months or a year would go to a city where there wasn't a single devotee, there wasn't a single person from India, and they would start a center. And the center would grow. Malati Devi Mataji just wrote a beautiful letter to His Holiness Mukunda Maharaj, who was having a health crisis. So let us all take a moment to pray with gratitude to him. And she was living with Shyam Sundar Prabhu in Oregon, in some forest. And Mukunda Maharaj said, "Come to San Francisco, we will start a temple for Srila Prabhupada." This was in the end of 1966. They said, "What's a temple?" He said, it's a storefront that's painted white. That was a temple. The devotees were going all over the country and the world, opening these little storefronts and filling them up. And what was causing that? Because devotees could feel Prabhupada's compassion. They could feel Krishna in his compassion. And they were grateful. And practically all the interactions among devotees were just sharing their gratitude with each other and inspiring that gratitude for what Srila Prabhupada was giving us and what he was asking us to share with each other and the world. Two simple principles. Accept what I've given, Srila Prabhupada said, and share it with others. It has to begin with devotees sharing it with each other. And then we really have a very, very powerful gift to share with the world. How rare it is. We may be thinking, actually I was talking about Panchatattva in 50 years and 500 years and 5,000 years. It just so happens that the official count of people registered for this yatra is 5,000. But how rare it is. Out of so many billions and billions of humans, and out of limitless living entities that are within this little universe, to be in Vrindavan under Srila Prabhupada's divine grace in Kartik is so rare and so special. You cannot be grateful unless we're humble. An arrogant heart can find no true gratitude. A humble heart is naturally grateful. Trinadapi sunichena. This is foundational, preliminary principle for true bhakti, is actual humility. Not always just seeking something else, but grateful for the infinite